Gotcha.
Hey, what's up, man? What you doing?
You know what I'm doing? I'm just Snyder cutting.
Yeah.
It's not a cut.
Hold on, man. Somebody on the line.
Snyder cut.
I got somebody else on the line.
Hello.
What's up, bro?
Snyder cut!
Snyder cut.
Snyder cut.
Hey, yo, guys, hold up. My mom's calling, all right?
Snyder cut.
Snyder cut.
Snyder cut.
March the 18th, hallelujah.
All right.
What are you doing? Thinking about moving out of my mom's basement. And how's that going for you? It's not going too well.
That's my boy. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm here. This water is divine. I'm on a horrible diet right now. I got a taste for some swine. Water tastes like nothing, but you need it to survive. It sucks. Diets suck. When you're on a diet, everything comes into realization what matters. Sex doesn't matter. Relationships doesn't matter. You know what matters? Food, mother freakers. Sure. Food makes me happy. What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's another installation of Fatal Live or Fatal J Live. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. I to see people in the building, and I'm glad you're here. Matter of fact, still on some music. Still on some music. In a wonderful way. It's a wonderful day. The Destroyer to all trolls. Nice thumbnail, Jay. Hey, thank you. With the help of Chat GBG. Thank you for being here. Sandro. Now that I have been granted emergency powers by the Dark Council Senate, I should use these powers to send the marginalized cousin your way if you don't like the stream. Well, you know when you say the marginalized cousin, you know what happens, right? The marginalized cousin, get him. So, ladies and gentlemen, you might be asking yourself, Phantom J, this is an unusual time for you to be going live. Well, I had things to do, mother freaker, like exercise, going to the gym, because my wife put a lightsaber to my head. Matter of fact, I said gun. You notice that? Think gun when I say lightsaber. So my wife put a lightsaber into my head. She said, if you don't drop 1,000 pounds, you're going to be sorry. I said, yes, ma'am. You know? Let's get into some news. We definitely going to break down today that X-Men 97 Season 2 trailer. I saw Grogu, Mandalorian and Grogu, ladies and gentlemen. And I seen it because my son wanted to see it. But we're supposed to get into some quick news. And then we're going to look at that trailer. Thank y'all for coming out. Make sure to smash that like button, you mother freakers. That's all you can do. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for nothing. Hit that hype and like. I don't even know if they do a hype button for live streams, but still. So, Marvel Comics underperformed as DC Studios takes off, comic book owner says. Now, I've been hearing a lot about this. I've been hearing a lot about this. This is what I've been hearing, ladies and gentlemen. I've been hearing that the only thing that's keeping comic books alive right now is mother freaking absolute Batman. I'm not joking when I say that. Absolute Batman is the only thing that's keeping comic books afloat. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. Sorry about that. I'm trying to see if it worked. Did that work? I'm trying to see if it worked. I'm trying to see if I could make things happen while I'm live. Let's try it like this. So, Marvel Comics underperform as DC takes off comic book show owner says. Let's read this. So it says Marvel Comics just went through a major leadership shakeup. But whether it fixes anything remains to be seen. What they talking about is leadership at Marvel. And Marvel Comics, some big dogs just got fired. Y'all know why all these layoffs are happening, right? That mother freaking AI. Why do I hire an egotistical mother freaker when AI can do it by itself and don't need to get paid? Yeah, it's happening. You know when people say, oh, Lord, oh, AI is going to take our jobs. It's taking your job. Especially the mother freakers who getting paid millions and thousands and ain't been doing nothing. Ain't been doing nothing. Now, comic book owner is offering a blunt ground level view of how Marvel's current comic line is performing with extra readers. Aaron Trice, owner of San Diego Now or Never Comics, appeared on the Sketch Art Panel podcast and was asked, what is it working right now at the shops? Okay, look crooked. I fixed it. His answer, Marvel stuff is definitely underperforming, and not just relative to the DC or Image stuff, Trice says, which fits with Dan Slott having to beg fans to buy Spider-Man because the books suck. The comments come after Marvel promoted Brad Winderbaum to oversee comics, television, animation, and franchise. They're putting it all together. While long-term Marvel executives Dan Buckley and David Gabriel, along with 3 editors, are either leaving or already have left the company, Marvel editor-in-chief C.B. Salbusky now reports to Wonderful. Marvel Comics is not getting fans excited. Retailer says Marvel is not rising to the occasion. They not. Too many X-Men books, not enough focus. It sucks. Marvel feels safe and vanilla. It sucks. Aliens and Predators are getting more heat than more core Marvel. Do y'all see this image right here? Check out that image right there. That's absolute Batman. The absolute Batman series is the only thing saving comic books right now. The only thing. Double S. What's up, brother Double A? Glad you're here. The Trash DeLorean. I saw it. It's trash, brother. It's supreme trash. It's ultra trash. And let me say it in the words of the Majina. It's trash. Ladies and gentlemen. You say right here, Disney is responding in kind, though. They're releasing a sequence of movies and TV shows using all their IPs. It's the absolute trash. I agree. I definitely agree. Trash, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute Batman is the only thing saving it. It says DC has the momentum. The contrast of DC is hard to ignore. I think it's funny, though, because what Marvel is doing in the movies, they're killing it more than DC. But what matters comic-wise, DC is killing it more than Marvel. It's a funny contrast to that. Very funny contrast. So DC has the momentum. The contrast with DC is hard to ignore. Trey said DC is leading the way at his shop with the Absolute line driving major excitement. I told y'all, Get those Batman absolute, Wonder Woman absolute, and Superman absolute. But those comics are going to be worth something. I got the #1 issue. First print. He said Absolute Batman has more subscribers than anything his shop has ever carried, and instead of dropping after issue #1, orders are growing. DC is back. He also says DC momentum is helping other books, including Image titles, because new readers are coming to the shop and asking what else they should read. That's the indie boys like me. I'm in the indie. Ninja Blast is coming soon. Ninja Blast 2 is coming soon. Book is done. Probably gonna drop it soon in the next month or two. This is what Marvel used to do. Marvel used to bring people in the comic shops. Marvel used to set the tone. Marvel used to make fans feel like they had to follow what came next. Now, at least according to one retailer, DC is doing the job better. Shout out to the originals, man. Shout out to the originals. Now, I know y'all saw this. Don't act like you didn't see this. More Marvel news. So an AI company out there, 11 Labs, has struck a deal for voice and likeness of Stan Lee so they can recreate it with AI. It will be added to a marketplace where various celebrity voices and likenesses that be generated with AI that companies can license for commercial use. Now, let me share with you something. I'm going to share with you, mother freakers, something. I'm all down for this. I'm all down for this. Freak it. Bring Stan Lee back from the dead. I want to see Stan Lee talk about in the AI voice. Bring him back. Have y'all ever noticed this? When Stan Lee died, the Marvel movies died. Remember how when Stan Lee was alive, we was getting nothing but bangers? Remember that? We was getting bangers on top of bangers on top of bangers. And I love every second of it. So let's continue. I'm down with that. So, and more Marvel news before we get into the X-Men 97. These just dropped today, and I think they look pretty dope. The Spider-Man Brand New Day covers the later issue of Empire magazine. Now, I don't know what's going on with Spider-Man fighting the Foot. Dang, I said the Foot, like the Foot Clan from Ninja Turtles. The Hand. But I'm all down. This look fire. This right here should be a freaking poster. Yeah, it does. See, look at these motherfucking haters. Who is Jenny? Let me see. Who is you, Jenny? AI face. I bet that. Let's do an experiment. I bet this is AI. Let's see if she did this an AI profile. Look AI to me. I'm supposed to ask Groku, is this an AI picture? Because people be trolling. Let me see. Is this an AI image? Let me see if this AI. Then come on, Grok. All right, let's go to ChatGPT then. Grok, you failed me. I forgot I don't have the paid version though. I got the paid version of this though. ChatGPT. Is this an AI image of a woman? Let's see what it say. ChatGPT. It looks more like a real photo of a woman than the AI generated. Why I say that, the skin texture, the face, but I can't prove 100% from the screenshot alone because profile pictures can be edited, filtered, or enhanced. So it's a chance that it is an AI woman. It is a chance. Never mind. I'm reading her stuff anyway. Look at her profile. SFW trans content creator and perfect. He's a lady. Oh, he's a lady. What up, Niobe? Glad you here. I want in on this talk. Where can I contact you? How can I message you, man? You definitely can come in. We can definitely chop it up about S-Man 97. Where you at? Is you on Facebook? I think I got you on Facebook. Let me see, Larry. Larry, check your Facebook. Check your Facebook. We definitely, because I know you're an S-Man head like me, and we can definitely break this down together. I want you to be. Let's get back to it though. Larry, I gave you the link. Decepticons strike again. But yeah, this poster is dope, man. I got high hopes for this one. It was some more images of Spider-Man Brand New Day that came out. Like this right here. This right here came out, Spider-Man Brand New Day. And it says, new looking Spider-Man and Spider-Man Brand New Day. Look like he lifted some stuff. That suit is so on point. I'm loving that suit. That suit is fire. I'm loving every second of that suit. Original Spider-Man suit. It don't get no better than that. The only thing that get better than that, and nothing has ever beaten it, is this right here. And it's a shame because when this came out, hold on, I'm going to show you. It's a shame because when this came out, they bastardized it. Marvel went crazy. This is what I'm talking about. Still nothing has beat this image. Nothing has beat this image. Nothing at all. Nothing has beat this image, period. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we have a comic extraordinaire, the king of indie comics, the man that puts the B in Niobe, my man, my friend, Larry Higgins.
Man, the king of indie comics. Well, when's Brian Pulido showing up?
Well, he's a king too. When I say king, I'm speaking broadly.
Like, man, I just leveled up. You know.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're here because you're a big S-Man fan like me, and we definitely gonna cover that soon right after this image. Brand New Day, Spider-Man. They dropped a lot of images. What is your thoughts about this movie? What you think? Are you hyped about it, or what you think about this movie?
I don't know enough about it. I mean, it's a Spider-Man movie. They're generally better than all the other things that Sony seems to put out, you know, because they work in conjunction with Marvel and Disney to incorporate the Tom Holland Spider-Man into the MCU. So those movies tend to be better than, say, The Venom or Madam Web, you know.
Yeah.
But the other thing about this movie is it's heavily rumored that we're getting X-Men or mutant drops within this movie.
Well, I mean, you know, with all this S-Man 97 and all this S-Man stuff with Marvel rivals, even though I know Marvel don't have nothing to do with that, I just see something growing with this X-Men franchise. Like they try to hype it up as big as possible before they give us that live action movie.
It's going to be huge. And you know, in regards to Marvel Rivals, they do sort of work in tandem with each other because in the Rivals game, they will tell you first appearances of characters, or if they're, you know, you buy a new costume or skin for that character in the game, they tell you where that suit appears. And if you look in the pages of Marvel, I don't know the last time when you open up a Marvel book, but I still get Spider-Man and X-Men on the reg. And inside those pages, they advertise Marvel Rivals. So it's a good cross-brand.
Okay, now that's funny you said that. I don't know how long you've been in the chat. Did you see where Marvel seems to be in trouble, and DC Comics is actually on the rise with the Absolute Batman franchise.
Absolute
Have you heard
Batman's
that?
been on fire since it's come out. The Absolute Universe
Right.
has really taken comic books by storm. And it's for a variety of reasons. Reason number one, it gives new people a brand new jumping on point without having to know 80 years worth of lore for a character. Okay. So anyone new can jump in on Absolute Batman or Absolute Wonder Woman and be perfectly fine without having read anything that has come before it. The other reason why it's doing so well is because it's comic books have shifted from a reader market more into a collectible market, and so a lot of these Absolute Batman sales that we're hearing about actually stem from retail exclusives or exclusives sold on whatnot or convention exclusives. Things that have like limited print run. Maybe there's only 500 of said cover available or 1,000, and a lot of those sorts of sales are spiking up numbers. Absolute Batman number 20, Jay, had over 125 variant covers.
Really?
No shit. And that's because you have comic book stores selling their own covers, online sellers selling their own covers. It's become quite the beast.
This bad boy right here, they say it's a big market for this book right here. This right here.
Yeah.
What's up with this? I mean, I only picked it up because of the hype.
Flash in the pan.
Yeah, I mean, I saw one at my shop and I was like, boom.
Yeah, I mean, if you have it and you're looking to flip it, then now's the time to do it before they start to drop in value. With Dork, it's funny. The person that colors that comic book lives 2 hours from here.
Really?
Small world. Yeah, small world.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so Dork hits a couple of different things. It's brand new book, so people get excited. Anytime a new Image number 1 comes out, people like to speculate on that stuff because they're hoping that it's going to become something big. They're hoping it's the next Invincible. They're hoping it's the next Walking Dead.
I think so too, because I'm gonna tell you, I even picked up a book, a new Robert Kirkman. Well, I didn't pick it up. I pre-ordered. It's a Robert Kirkman book that's coming out called Terminal. Have you heard of that book?
No.
Okay.
But I did see Robert Kirkman last night on the Industry of Comics live show. So shout out to those guys. They did a good job interviewing him.
What you think is the magic behind Robert Kirkman?
He's just a talented writer. He's got a great imagination. He knows how to navigate the comic book waters. He's certainly made friends in all the right places.
I think he like us, man.
Well, when you watch the interview, you'll definitely say that. He's a very down to earth, sort of humble dude. He had to go into credit card debt just to make his ideas happen, right?
I remember that.
He knows all about being the starving artist long before he got his big shots with Marvel Zombies and whatnot.
Yeah, man.
So this looks kind of interesting. This looks like old school Image right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I do when I'm busy, I make sure to pre-order comic books instead of fighting what they call them, neck beards and guys that show they crack. So I pre-order my stuff. I pre-order this. Now, I'm the type of guy, I give every issue number 1 a shot. If I don't like it, I'm done with it. I don't care how much issue 2 is or issue 3 in the market value. I don't care. Like that Dork. I just got that issue 1. I read through it. I didn't like it. Boom, I'm done. I'm not one of those, what they call them, speculators and all. I don't do all that.
Well, there's nothing to speculate on Dork beyond issue 1 anyway.
Yeah.
Right? You think issue 2 is going to have the hype that issue 1 did, or issue 3? No, not really. Not unless they introduce like a major character or something like that. That's why issue 1s always sell so well, because guys like you and I will always give something a shot, or speculators will speculate on issue 1. But if it doesn't hit, like you just said, we see how fast things get dropped.
Yeah, and I saw something interesting about Dork as well. They said that it could have been artificially hyped. Did you say anything about that?
Well, I know something about that. Yeah. So what happens is retailers will get retailer calls from publishers. Okay. And in these calls, they are told, hey, you're going to want to order extra copies of this because this is going to be a big deal. This is going to be a huge deal. They hype up their own comics, getting comic book stores to order more. So I know those calls happen. Been told so much right on the Industry of Comics show that they happen. Image makes those calls. Vault makes those calls. You know, all sorts of publishers will call up, you know, especially major retailers and say, hey, look, here's the inside scoop you might want to get on now and order as many of these as you can, you know.
Wow. I didn't know that went on.
Oh yeah, they're called retailer calls.
Wow. Okay. Is that hurting the comic industry?
No. No, I mean, I think it's cool that retailers are actually, or publishers are actually reaching out to the comic book shops that sell their stuff and letting them know what's going on. Do I think there's some inflated hype? Sure. But if you're selling a product, you're always going to inflate your product. You know what I mean? You know, hey, guys, come buy Niobe. It's the best thing you've ever read. We're going to say that every fucking time. You know, like.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Before we get into the main topic,
yeah,
I want to show you something. This is something that both our good friend is working on. And I want to thank you, man, because you was the one that introduced me to this guy. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to show you the cover that he's working on. And you tell me who is the artist behind this.
Well, I already know the name, but go ahead.
All right. Let me see. Boom. Check that out right there.
Yeah. So this is Josh Van Haltren. Hopefully I'm saying this. I always fuck up his last name.
That man is fantastic, man.
But I can easily tell it's his style simply because of the face.
But see,
so
that's what I like.
That wild manga-looking expressional face going on, very animated, right? Because that's what Josh does. You know, he's an animator by trade.
Yeah, but that's what I love about him. When you looked at the art, you knew exactly who that was that drew that, that sketched that.
Yeah. I mean, having worked with him for Savage Sin 2, you know, we done something similar, not this pose or anything like that, but like similar, almost facial expressions where they're very exaggerated, very animated, and he does those things very, very well. You know, wait till this gets fully detailed out and colored. You'll be blown away. Yeah,
and I just love how he draw women. You know, it's a lot of guys out there, artists that can't draw women well, to me, and man, he does a great job drawing the faces and anatomy. You know.
Yeah.
So
Josh is kind of like a unsung hero. You know, he really needs to do more comic book work, and I know he's up to his neck, you know, with doing animation. He's a busy guy, but he has was it Science Wizard Comics, something like that his own little comic book company is called, and they were doing a spin-off of a Gwenpool, right? I forget what it was called, but he needs to, you know, hopefully get back to that if he can.
Yeah, and I remember he did Pineapple Pizza Man as well.
Pineapple Pizza Man, that's another one. Yeah.
Sanjo, now for the big question: would a Spider-Man movie story have any weight to it now that they're practically confirmed that they're doing a reboot with Doomsday? I don't know. This seems like it's going to be a soft reboot, and I'm down with that. Just got back from watching Ryan Canel's live streaming him in Japan. What did I miss? You didn't miss much. We just covering some little Marvel news. We're about to get into the main thing with X-Men 97. So stay tuned. Tell a friend. Tell the boys and girls to go to the next room because it's going to get real wild and chaotic. No, I'm just kidding.
We're two crazy boys.
Yeah. Sandro. No, they're rebooting with Secret Wars. Oh, that's when the reboot will happen. Okay, you guys are smart.
So Avengers Doomsday comes first, but after that, it's Avengers Secret Wars. That's sort of the path that they're doing.
Do you think that they will be able to capture the magic like they did with Infinity War and Endgame?
Well, they better, or they're in trouble. You know, this is going to be sort of, in my opinion, their last stab at really making a mark in cinema with these superhero movies. They got to be bigger than life. You know, they got to blow things out of the water, right? You're only as good as your last entry, right? So it's like WWE. You're only as good as your last match. So we'll see what they put out.
We have 6 months until we see the magic of what they done. As
Oh,
for me, now Avengers is like the Rolls Royce of comic book movies. That's like that's the luxury brand. We're gonna get awesomeness and more.
yeah.
Do you think it's a possibility that this movie could be a dud in December?
Look, I think any movie that's been produced in the last however long is a possibility of a dud. I just saw Mandalorian and Grogu. Dud.
Yeah.
You know, and that's Star Wars. And that's the first Star Wars movie to hit cinema in 7 years.
I'm glad you saw that because me and you're gonna talk about that after this trailer. Let's check out this trailer right here.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the X-Men 97 season 2, written by Bo De Mayo. Maybe. Let's continue.
It's hard to believe what's not waiting for me.
And what we're gonna do, we're gonna let it play, and then we're gonna break down some scenes.
Yeah, you do it, brother.
Someone I lost. Someone special.
The X-Men are scattered through time. In the past, from the start of Apocalypse's reign, to the future at the height of his rule.
The X-Men. I must strike them at their most vulnerable. The 1990s.
Jeez, could have at least bought me a drink first.
We gotta get the X-Men back to the 90s.
You fight a battle that cannot be won. Against the dawn of an age that cannot be stopped.
This isn't just about us. It's about everyone we've lost.
From the beginning of time to the reaches of tomorrow, we stand together right here, right now. I believe in the X-Men. We're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
Frank Miller Wolverine iconic pose.
That's exactly what that is, too.
That right there. It should be a freaking cover. If they make this right here into a cover, I'm gonna buy it instantly, man.
It's been a cover before. I mean, if you go back to the old Wolverine, I think it's the 4-issue limited series.
No. I'm not talking about the classic. I'm just talking about this animation style.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
This looks great. I'm more excited about this than the movies we're going to talk about. You know, like
This gave me something we haven't gotten in a long time. Hyped during the trailer, the music. Man, whoever did the score to this trailer, man, that's just heart popping. I wish I would have seen this trailer like in a movie theater or something, man.
well, they're doing a really good job of selling, and they're throwing a lot at you in about a minute, right? My things I worry about is that it's only 9 episodes long this season. It's actually 1 episode shorter than last season, so it's going to go by quick. You know what I mean?
And each episode is what? Is it
It's going to be about your 22-minute length, you know, your standard. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's rare and it's a lot of money. Because I know Invincible does an hour, and that's probably why we only get 5 or 6 episodes a year from Invincible. But that's going to go by fast. You're right. 30 minutes, 8 episodes. So they better bring the pain in every single episode.
Then they got a lot of ground to cover. I mean, as you sort of go through this trailer here, there'll be things I can sort of pinpoint. A lot of this is about the Death Gambit, right?
Yeah, and I'm glad you're here so you can be able to break down some stuff because the only gripe that I really have about this is the going back in time stuff. I'm tired of that. You know?
It's not just going back in time, they're also going ahead in time. So the X-Men are displaced. There's a group in the past and a group in the future, and both of them are dealing with different versions of Apocalypse.
Okay.
So again, this is just about Gambit, and this has been a big thing. I'm trying to sell my buddy Sam on watching season 1 because he's going to be with me when we cover season 2. And by the way, Jay, since we're here right now, I want to give you the official invite to the Niobe Comics podcast show Wednesday nights. I'll have to finalize the time with everyone, but because X-Men, when this drops, it drops July 1st, and guess what day that happens to be, Fatal J?
When they drop.
Well, July 1st is Wednesday. That means this show is going to be coming out every comic book Wednesday.
That's great. Hey, I'm down. I told you, man. I'm off for 2 months. I'm free.
No, we got 2 months of X-Men 97 to cover because that's about as long as it's going to last. It's going to be our summer show. All July, all August.
Now, I'm going to disappear again in 2 months. That's why this random stream is happening. I couldn't do this if I was working. My workload
You're okay.
is crazy.
I mean, this streaming stuff for us is all secondary, right? Real life, obviously, is going to come first. We all know this.
Oh, yeah, because everybody know we the big guys when it come to comic books. You know what I mean?
But yeah, we're going to cover this like we did 2 years ago. We're going to have the screenshots. We're going to come in with the lore. I'm going to bring in special guests. I'm glad you're here. Maybe we'll get, the Sensei Ben Dunn in on some of this stuff. Like, I'll reach out to anyone that works in the X-Men that may talk to me,
Because when it comes to Sensei, I know Sensei is a big X-Men fan. I see a lot of X-Men influence in his work. I see a lot of X-Men influence in your work.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're here because I consider myself an X-Men fan, but I know when it comes to you, the lore really heavy. And for somebody to still be collecting modern day X-Men, you the guy I need to be talking to.
Well, I mean, a lot of people want to shit on the mainstream, and granted, maybe 8 years ago it was kind of worth shitting on. But if anyone has been reading X-Men lately, and I don't mean by X-Men, I only read one title. I read the Jed McKay X-Men title, and I'm up to issue 30, like just 30 of them out. And to me, it feels like pretty cool old school X-Men.
Did you pick up the Brett Booth run when he did X-Men? Came out like a year or two ago. But maybe like 2 or 3 years ago.
I'm not sure what you mean. Brett Bruveron?
Excuse me. Sometimes my country accent get in the way. Brett Booth.
Brett Booth. Well, Brett Booth is an incredible artist. And I don't know if he's worked on X-Men consistently. I know he's done some variants. I know he's worked with McFarlane.
No, he did a book. He did a book.
Like now, a book or like a run?
I'm not going to say a run,
but
he did do some issues. I remember for a fact. I haven't picked it up yet.
Then chances are I have them,
Yeah, you most likely
but it's not like striking out in memory. Like I would have to go online, type up his name, see exactly what he did,
No, I'm going to show you real quick, just real fast, and then we're going to go back to the trailer breakdown. X-Men Legends.
Oh, X-Men Legends is a whole different beast. Yeah, I have this actually.
Okay, yeah, he did that one. I'm a huge Brett Booth fan. Probably in my top 5, if not top 6 of my favorite artists of all time. And I've been meaning to pick that up.
So what X-Men Legends is, at least the first sort, because there's been a couple of different volumes of X-Men Legends. X-Men Legends, the first time around, I think, was written by Chris Claremont, and it was all about what he would have done had he kept writing X-Men throughout the 90s, right? Because when that Jim Lee run came out, he only did the first handful of issues, and then he was gone. You know what I mean? And then the X-Men kind of forever shifted after that. So X-Men Legends is actually like some good stuff, the Claremont stuff, where he was going to take the franchise had he been kept on as lead writer sort of thing.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is Claremont the best writer we ever got?
For the X-Men?
For X-Men? Yeah.
In my opinion, yes.
Okay, in my opinion too. I was just checking because you
Yeah.
more of an X-Men guy than me. Now I'm gonna ask you this, and then we're gonna get right back into the trailer.
Sure.
Who is your favorite X-Men artist of all time?
Mark Silvestri would
Wow,
probably
I
rank
wasn't
up there.
expecting that. I wasn't expecting that, but I like that.
You
Was
know,
not
well,
expecting that.
that's Mark Silvestri goes back to his Wolverine days, the X-Men
Yeah.
Outback days when they were all in Australia. You know, that's when I really was into the X-Men. Maybe a little bit before that in the late 80s sort of thing.
Yeah.
But Mark Silvestri did a lot of great work. Jim Lee, of course, did a lot of great work. You know,
John Byrne.
John Byrne, of course, did a
Yeah.
lot of great work. You know, lots of
I'm
people
a,
sort of came and gone from the X-Men. But yeah, if I was to
but
pick 2
I'm
or
gonna
3
throw one
names,
out there, and people rarely name him, but he brought a manga style to the X-Men. One of my personal favorites. The world usually don't say his name, but Joe Mad.
yeah.
Joe
Yeah, I was
Mad
kind
was
of out of collecting when he sort of came in because there was
yeah,
a
he came
time
in.
after the big Image sort of boom when all the
Yeah,
top talent left to do X-Men or sorry,
yeah,
the Image books, and then Marvel was kind of left like changing their style and changing everything up, and I
yeah.
just kind of dropped out at that point. I didn't get back into comics until fucking 2008.
See, that's what I noticed about comic book collectors and people who was in the comic book world. We had an era where we kind of pushed comic books to the side and went back into the real world, but it kept calling us back like
Yeah,
crack. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
You know that crack addict. He tries his best. He tries his best to live the life that he know he needs to live, and but he can hear that crack whispering in his voice, like, "Come back, come back."
Well, temptation is a hell of a drug. You know, when I stopped collecting comics, I was still going to the comic book store, but I was going there for Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering, right? And then
Yeah,
I'm walking by, and you know, I always would look at the shelf but never pick anything up. But then I saw New Mutants Volume 3, and of course, My Girl Magic was front and center on the front cover. And I'm like, motherfuckers. And I
I
bought it.
know
And I'm like,
Magic is your girl, right? That's your favorite X-Men
oh yeah,
character,
we're gonna
right?
get the magic here in this trailer because there's big magic
Okay.
news in this trailer.
All right, let's get back to it, and then you tell me when you think I need to
Because
stop.
when I'm done here, I'm about to make another video and go on a rant. So
Okay,
yeah.
let's do it.
For me. Someone I lost.
Now we both know Gab, and I told some of my friends this. Gambit is coming back, but he coming back as a horseman.
That's the big speculation. Yeah. And I would say that is probably 99% happening. Yeah. They're
None
not
of
going to
this
leave
Gambit
Gambit
right
dead.
here.
First of all, Gambit's too popular of a character. Like this image that we got right here on the screen, the Rogue Gambit relationship sells fucking comic books. Do people love this couple? People love this
They do.
relationship. Okay.
Let me ask you
Um,
something. Just give you a quick X-Men quiz. Where
okay.
does these costumes, this basketball scene come from?
The X-Men, I mean, I couldn't give you an exact answer. Maybe you would have to tell me. But
This the
just
easy
generally
one, man.
speaking, the X-Men have always played sports.
They did
And
always play basketball, but this is an easy one, Larry.
I
You
don't
should
know.
know
I
this
mean,
one.
I mean,
Okay.
maybe it's so
I ain't gonna
easy.
put you
I
on the
think it's a
spot.
trick question.
I ain't gonna put you on the spot. This is probably the most simplest one. This is straight out of the Jim Lee reboot of the X-Men.
Yeah.
Remember when he sold the most comics in the
X-Men
world or
number
whatever?
1 was 8 million copies.
Yep. But this is what I love. Bo DeMayo took this straight out of the comic books, man.
A
Straight
lot
out
of
the
this is
comic
straight
books.
out of the comic books. I mean, a lot of it's, I shouldn't say straight, it's borrowed from, right?
Yeah.
Like like the whole Inferno saga, they summed up in one episode in X-Men episode 2 of last season. You know what I mean?
I'm
So
fit to show you real quick, and then we're gonna get back to it. But this basketball shot is
yeah,
right out
yeah.
of, and I know you've seen this before, but I'm not trying to trick you or nothing, But I love how it's just straight out the comic books, man.
Yeah, like I
Straight out the
said,
comic
Jim
books.
Lee isn't the first person to do that, though. They've been
Yeah, you're right.
X-Men been playing sports in their courtyard for forever.
And yeah, and you got to think it's a freaking school, so of course they're gonna have sports,
You know, the
Yes.
rule is no powers when they usually play, and then someone
Yeah.
will cheat and use their powers.
Yep. All right, let's continue.
Not waiting for me. Someone I lost. Someone special.
Do you think Rogue is a wretched swine of a woman for falling in love with Magneto?
Well, having read that run, it was interesting, and even then, right? The whole Rogue and the Savage Land with Magneto thing, because that's where they kind of got their the romance happening. People were complaining about it back then, like, don't you think Magneto's robbing the cradle, sort of shit? You know, I'm like,
I always thought that. I was like, he way too old for her. But then something inside of me was saying like, Magneto is charismatic, and he can make a whole nation of mutants believe in what he's talking about,
like a cult leader.
Yeah, he like a cult leader. So I can see him persuading the young women, you know what I mean, or making them fall in love with his majesty. Magneto is the man. He an old man, but he the man. You know?
Well, I mean, for a period of time too, Rogue, didn't have her power, so she was able to touch, right? And so that was a big thing between them. It's like, I can touch you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dr. Doug, did they have her romantically tied to Magneto? Yes, sir. Shout out to the source material. Yes, sir. They did. It was weird. It was weird. Let's continue. Who is this right here? Do you see that?
Yeah,
is that Scarlet Witch?
It could be Scarlet. Like, it's so hard to tell because it's so blurry, and and because it's the Marvel animation title screen, this may not necessarily be related to the X-Men. That could be Scarlet Witch. That could be Hela. That could be a few different people.
And for the record, I did not watch the What If. That just I couldn't force myself to do it. Oh, okay. Destroyer of Trolls. That's Phoenix. Okay.
That could be Phoenix too. It's hard to see. You know what I mean? Like this.
Kind of remind me of Phoenix in the X-Men movies. The third one. All right, let's continue.
The X-Men are scattered through time.
Now, I don't know nothing about this run at all.
So there is the Age of Apocalypse sort of stuff, which I never really read.
Okay, I know about the Age of Apocalypse, but I never did get deep into all that.
Yeah, me either.
Because I know it's several books of Age of Apocalypse.
But there's been numerous different sort of stories where the X-Men have encountered him in the past, encountered him in the future. So this is going to be probably a hodgepodge of all that.
Okay. What you think about these looks?
Well, they need disguises. I mean, I it's kind of hard to hide the blue fur and stuff, but they're going to need clothing for wherever they are. As far as any of these looks iconic, not that I can remember, but
Yeah. All right.
In the past, from the start of Apocalypse.
All right. So that's Young Apocalypse right there.
Okay.
And that's a look that we've seen him tout even in the comics. And one of the things that they're going to do with this is they're going to show you. In fact, I just did a video on this where they're going to show you Young Apocalypse in his middle school sort of age and why he's become who he's become. So they're going to give you all the backstory on Apocalypse this season.
Well, give us a brief synopsis in one sentence. Why is he who he is? Like is Apocalypse bigger than Magneto as far as being a villain?
Oh God, yes.
That's what I was thinking. Like, and then I always heard this because, like I said, I'm an X-Men fan, but I'm not really deep in the lore. But I always heard that Apocalypse is the first mutant.
Well, I mean, it's between him or Namor. They always call Namor. They always
you're right.
Yeah. I mean,
but I'm talking about
I think Apocalypse's motivation is pretty simple: the evolution of mutant kind, and mutants taking over the world, yada yada.
Okay, but I'm saying as far as X-Men lore, is Apocalypse the first mutant?
I don't know. I mean, there's a claim that it's him. There's a claim it's Namor.
Okay.
Marvel canon can change that at any point. So
you're right. You're right. That's like the weirdest between MJ and Gwen Stacy with Norman Osborn in the Spider-Man run. Yeah, not the greatest of romances. Destroyer of all trolls say he is the first mutant. Okay, because I've heard that
If
even
you
back.
look at any Namor comic, they would always put Marvel's first mutant at the top of it.
Oh, but I see what you're saying on that, and I get that. But what I'm saying is Namor the first mutant within the X-Men lore? You see what I mean? Or is it Apocalypse? Like, is they walking around saying in X-Men comics, Namor was the first mutant? You see what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we went back 10, 12 years ago, the answer to that would have been yes.
Okay.
But Apocalypse, like he's saying here in the chat, he's
The first one.
he's also known as the first one, right? So
Okay.
which came first, the chicken or the egg? Probably Apocalypse came first, right?
Yeah.
But
Story-wise.
Story-wise.
Yeah.
But they changed things, you know.
And they change. Yeah, you're right. Every year they change. I love this look right here. This is menacing. I see a motherfucker like that walk in the darkness in the alleyway. I'm walking the other way. Red eyes, blue lips.
This is so, in his very younger stage. Like Apocalypse is essentially immortal, right? And so we're getting, this is like 3000 BC Egypt Apocalypse that you got here,
And
that's
think
how
about
far
that
they went
name.
back.
I love that name too, Apocalypse. Because when you think Apocalypse, that's the end of the world. That's great villain. Let's
The
continue.
start of Apocalypse's reign.
Look at the shot right here.
Apocalypse's reign.
So we're gonna see some cool things in Egypt.
Well, what do you? Well, okay. There is almost an Easter egg in here that you can kind of see.
Okay,
but I don't know because the screen isn't like one of the horsemen on his right looks like Gambit.
On the right?
Yeah. He's got the sword up. You can almost see his hair, almost the jacket. He's riding the horse right to the right of Apocalypse there.
Oh, and this is weird too because I see look like robots on the ground.
Now, I don't think it's Gambit because I don't think you're going to see Gambit with Apocalypse in his younger years. I think if Gambit shows up as a horseman, we're going to see that when the X-Men encounter him in the future. But it kind of looks like him just from here. You know what I mean?
This right here, this image alone, I haven't seen a villain look powerful like this in a long time. Now, I did see it a little bit in Invincible, but this right here this is a man. If you're on the ground and you see that, and then you see the army behind you, that's your eyes, man. You're dead.
You're dead, man. I mean,
you're dead.
You got about a dozen people on horseback coming towards you, plus the main villain.
You just better pray us a quick one. Let's continue.
To the future at the height of his rule.
Back.
Yeah, I went too long.
Well, I mean, they're going to show you things every 3 seconds here.
I love the transition though.
So that's the future.
What the freak is going on at the bottom? Do you see all this?
Yeah, it looks like a big rally.
Either that or it's a big brawl.
It could be it could be that too, because we got some guy there almost looked like he's body surfing there in the corner.
I wouldn't want to be at this place. Just for the record.
Well, it's the next shot. Now, this is the interesting shot because we get Cyclops, but if you notice, he's in a different attire, right? What he's wearing here is his blue and white X Factor costume.
Right. That was his first suit, right? Or one of his first suits.
Well, no, his first suit goes way back to Jack Kirby and
that's
Stan
right.
Lee.
With Angel
this blue and white suit, like when back in the 90s or late 80s, X Factor came out, and it was like a revision of the old team. It was Scott, it was Jean, it was Beast, it was Iceman, it was Angel. And they were working for a corporation that was supposedly hunting down mutants, but what they were really doing was rescuing them. So all their costumes had a different look. Cyclops was wearing the blue and white. Jean Grey was wearing red and yellow. Angel was wearing red and white. So on and so forth. But that's an interesting nod that they have him in the X Factor costume right there.
That's a good catch. I didn't catch that either. Now, is this I see Gene, this little boy right here. Is that Nathan?
I believe that's going to be Nate Summers. Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue. Very good stuff.
At the height of his rule,
The X-Men.
All right. So
New look for Magneto.
yeah. So Magneto letting his hair grow out, a little beard happening here.
Yeah.
Getting a little rough looking around the edges. You got Bishop here. So Bishop and Forge, their whole thing in this season is the X-Men are out. It's right there in the trailer. The X-Men are displaced out of time. We got to bring the X-Men back. So you're going to see Bishop and Forge, bringing back the old school, new school X Factor, which is going to be like Havoc and Polaris and Wolfsbane, Multiple Man, those cats from the Peter David run. They're all showing up in this show. And they're going to be the ones that are going to be trying to track down and find where the hell the X-Men have gone to and bring them back home.
So we got Magneto being an anti-hero in this?
Don't know. I mean, I have to watch the show. They're showing us clips. This stuff could be in anything. This could be in the last episode for all we know. Like, who knows?
I'm a huge Magneto fan. It's something about him. The majestic of him. Sometimes when you listen to him, you kind of believe what he's saying. Sometimes you believe what he's saying. He just got a real royalty type of character. I love Magneto.
Sounds like a Sean Connery of mutants.
Yeah, like a Sean Connery type vibe.
Welcome to the Rock.
Even though you on the other side, he your enemy, you still have a respect for him.
Oh yeah.
Let's continue. I love the part. I always mess with my wife. I try to add like I think his name Ian McKellen, the dude that first played Magneto. He said, "We are the future, Charles."
No. I have the line right here.
Yeah.
My soundboard is ready to go.
Whenever me and my son play chess, I always act like I'm Magneto. My son
Right.
never want to be Charles though. All right, let's continue.
I must strike them at their most vulnerable.
Now this
That's
is
the apocalypse we all know and remember. That is modern day apocalypse right there. It'd be interesting to see if they change his look for the future apocalypse, how he'll be. Maybe we'll see it in the trailer. Again, things flash by so quick that I'm actually kind of glad we're watching this sort of frame by frame just to see if there's anything that we missed that goes by rapidly,
Yeah. What do you know why they made Apocalypse is more mechanical than how he was when he started?
That's a good
Is
question.
Is it like Darth Vader? The suit keep him alive, or
I don't know.
All right, let's continue.
I'm not gonna pretend I know.
We'll learn in the show, man. We'll learn in the show. Let's continue.
The 19.
So that's Polaris right there.
That's Polaris, who's with Scott brother, right?
Well, in the comics, she's dated a few people. She dated Havoc. Here we got a picture with her with Iceman, Bobby Drake, which may piss off some people, and I'll tell you why. Because in current canon, Bobby Drake is gay.
Yeah,
okay. But in old school X-Men, Bobby Drake was a womanizer. You know what I mean?
I can remember it was a big deal when they made Iceman gay in the comics. That was a real big deal.
Yeah. Well, that's you can give that one to Brian Michael Bendis. That's who did that.
Brian Michael Bendis, the man that make 1 million speech bubbles on one page. I love this though. We see the homage to the original X-Men right here on this picture.
Yeah.
And I think they do a close-up of it. Let's check it out.
Yeah, there it is.
Now,
So
I recognize Iceman, Angel, Beast, King, Cyclops, and Xavier.
Yeah.
But what Polaris doing there?
So Polaris was interjected early in the X-Men, but you didn't really see much of her, right? Because Polaris is the daughter of Magneto. That's part of her origin story, and they may
I
have
didn't
since
know
changed
that.
that. Yeah. Well, her powers are all magnetic as well. Like she's essentially female Magneto. And what they're saying in the show notes that I read today during my last video is that she's going to be a big part of the show, and she's essentially taking Magneto's spot
What, as villain or as on the
as the
X-Men?
master of magnetism.
Whoa. Because see, I
Those-
always figured Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver was his children.
Well, technically in the comics, they are too.
Okay, see, man, you learned something new. That's why I'm glad you came on the show, man. Let's continue.
Jeez, could have at least bought me a drink first.
Now that's Morph, of course. I always wonder why they went with this look with Morph and not the first look he had in season 1. You know what I'm talking about, when he was a human?
Yeah.
He always looked like this, like a chameleon.
I think they're doing this to give him more of a pansexual look so that you don't know really what Morph's gender is.
Yeah.
I think that's just something they're doing like on a subtle nature. So you know, like you can't say Morph's a guy or Morph's a girl. Morph is like Pat from Saturday Night Live. We don't know.
I always try to figure out what the freak is, Pat. Let's continue.
Drink first.
Man, this is cool right here, man.
So that's interesting because we never really see Jean Grey manifest her powers in such a manner. Usually, like for energetic blades, psychic blades, that's a Psylocke thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here she's sort of utilizing Wolverine's claws in some sort of telepathic defense for Cyclops, or maybe some sort of attack. You have to play the rest of this. I want to see how this plays out.
Shout out to Bo DeMayo for doing interesting new things with characters we know. Like, for instance, season 1, when we saw Cyclops jump out of that plane. I mean, the X-Men Blackbird jet. Just freaking fantastic the way he
that was
did
a great scene.
That was a great scene. I think that scene alone put a little bit more popularity.
So, by the way, another side note: the outfits they're wearing here. This is from the Grant Morrison run of X-Men.
Yep, I mean,
Right,
that's what I love. It's showing tribute to the comic books. I love it.
So, those that are fans of Ethan Van Sciver, and I don't know if there's any in your chat or not. I'm certainly not one of them. Like as personality wise, but art wise, he did a lot of the new X-Men back in the day with Grant Morrison. Some of this is his doing, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Now let me ask you a question. I remember watching the Snyder Cut, and it had Ethan Van Sciver, credited for doing one of the Green Lantern designs.
Yeah.
Do he get paid for that?
Sure does.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how you know, every now and then you'll see Ethan go live and he'll talk about royalties he's gotten from this or that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much he gets. I don't know if it's like, here's your check for $2 or here's your check for $2,000. I mean,
yeah.
But I know he gets royalties.
He probably gets some chump change, but nothing to change your life about. Let's continue.
Yeah, oh, so go back. So that was interesting. So she puts the cloth in front of his eyes, and his beams are going in like fucking 4 different directions, probably doing some sort of multi-attack. You know what I mean?
But I love that. We haven't seen that before in X-Men.
It's interesting.
That.
Yeah.
I just pray that this season is so good that they ask.
It better be as good as the trailer, or I'm going to be pissed.
I'll be pissed too. But I really want this to be something huge, so they can consider bringing Bo DeMayo back. This guy is a genius.
Yeah. I feel what this guy is saying here, right? He's cool with EVS, just hates the bitter obsession with Eric July. It's a little weird. Well, it's been going on for fucking 4 years, man. You know what I mean?
Well, at the end of the day, with the Eric and Ethan thing, when you just boil it down to its simplest form, it's just jealousy, man. And these two right here, Eric and Ethan, I truly believe if they would have stuck together, they would have did some damage, man. In the indie world, They could have did some damage.
Yeah, but Ethan's not going to allow someone to overshadow him, and that was sort of the problem. Is that Eric was gaining a lot more momentum than Comicsgate was, especially at that time, and even now. I mean, he's got that huge book deal, right? So Ethan tried to get Eric July to declare that he was Comicsgate, and Eric wouldn't do it, and that's sort of what started the whole fucking fall.
Okay, that's interesting. So, do you think Eric should have just said, "Yeah, I'm Comicsgate, man"?
No, because then Ethan's going to take credit for half the shit he does. The only reason why you're successful is because you're on Comicsgate. You're on my show. And Eric's like, no, fuck you. I'm Ripperverse, and we're going to do things. We're going to do business differently. We're going to move differently.
Well, let me ask you a question. Just clear your brain, your mind, and really answer this question for me. Do you think Eric will make a lot more money if he would have stuck with Ethan?
No. No, I think Ethan would have drug him down somehow.
So you think like either path you would have took, like that movie with Tom Cruise, where every path he took, he died. I forgot the name of that movie. But any path that Eric would have took with Ethan, it eventually would have failed.
Yeah, because Ethan taints brands. The minute Eric wants to be in mainstream, Eric wants to be in Barnes and Nobles, Eric wants to be in Walmart's. Okay, Eric
Which is a great move, incredible move.
But the minute you slap a Comicsgate label onto that, your brand is already tarnished.
I know a guy on Instagram. He does S-Man 97 art look just like this. And I was telling him I might be interested into a piece because I'm moving in some months from now, and I may want me one of those S-Man 97 piece. You know what the question that he asked me came out of nowhere. He said, "You're not one of those Comicsgate guys, are you?"
And you're going to hear that a lot.
Wow. He said, "Because I don't want nothing to do with that."
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
I mean, whether Comicsgate is guilty of all the crimes they're accused of or not doesn't matter. What matters is you want to play in someone else's sandbox. You got to play by their rules. And most of it is we don't associate with Comicsgate.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. And Destroyer, you're right, Edge of Tomorrow. When that movie where any option he took, he died. And then he finally started learning what he was supposed to do. That was a good movie, underrated movie. Yeah, EBS was out of pocket for that. 2 adversarial visions.
100%.
Yeah. I'm still waiting on my my son is 18. I'm still waiting on my Rainbow the Brute. And I pledged for that book. Not pledge, what they call it, backed. I backed the book when he was 13, 14.
Yeah.
All right.
Now he's an adult.
Yep, now he's a man.
So that was a really good shot at Sunspot there.
Okay.
If you watch season 1, go ahead.
I like Sunspot, but check this out. I like Kitty Pryde more than Jubilee.
Yeah, but you still might see Kitty Pryde in the show. And I'll tell you why, even though you don't see her in the trailer, at least I don't notice her in the trailer, is in the first season, there's a shot where it's either Bishop or Forge, and they're looking at a poster, and the poster comes from Days of Future Past of the X-Men. It shows like the X-Men who've been captured, who've been killed, and who are free in this like post-apocalypse world, right?
Yeah.
2 names were on that list. And anytime you see something like that's got to give you glimpses in the future. But one of the names was Shadowcat, which is Kitty Pryde, and the other one was Magic, which is of course Ileana, Colossus's sister. Now we know we're getting one of them, maybe very briefly, but it'd be cool to get old school 1990s Excalibur in her blue Shadowcat Kitty Pryde in this show.
Yeah. Destroyer said Jubilee was always the worst member of the X-Men. Jubilee just to me was not needed.
Well,
but
she was kind of fucking useless. I can make things sparkle. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But what was cool was if you watched the season 1 in episode 4 where they go to the Mojoverse, we actually encounter a future Jubilee who would actually kick some ass. Where her powers develop.
I'm sure that the show is going to give us some awesomeness with her But I just always been a man who preferred Kitty Pryde over Jubilee.
Well, that's because we're old school, right? Well, like Jubilee, when she was introduced, she was supposed to be the last X-Men and the youngest X-Men, sort of thing. Like she was the last bit of the last sort of line. You know what I mean? Prior to that, it was Kitty Pryde, who was sort of known as the junior youngest X-Men. So that that's why you feel the way you do.
Yeah. Let's continue. Shout out to Bishop.
All right, so those are all the hand right there.
Okay,
so those
those
ninjas in red, right?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
you right. That's the hand.
That's what it looks like to me, unless if there's something else. But I mean, red ninjas in Marvel usually mean the hand.
Fun fact: Larry Higgins. What big franchise got inspiration from the hand?
But there could be several. I mean, I don't know.
Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo.
The Turtles.
The Turtles. Think about.
Well, I mean, you had the hand and you had the foot. That's it, man.
That's
it. I'm following along with the class. I get you now.
Can you believe to this day we never got a Daredevil and Ninja Turtles crossover? That's where the Turtles come from, is Daredevil.
It's true. Like normally, anytime we've seen the Turtles crossover, it's usually with Batman, right? Like I've seen a couple of, like Turtles and Batman, but never Turtles and Daredevil. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, think about it. Murdoch Master was Styx. The Ninja Turtles, their master is Master Splinter.
Yeah.
Raphael use a sai.
Yeah.
Elektra use a sai and wear red.
Yeah.
I love it. I just never understood why they said the little boy that was running with the fishbowl was Maddox when the goo got onto him.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We're making our own canon here, but sure. Yeah. I mean, I love the fan theories and sort of like the the what if scenarios for sure.
Yeah. Let's continue though. So this was a good eye catcher. I did not know. And think about it. Anybody who fighting the hand, it would be right to be Nightcrawler. So we're gonna get a dope scene from this.
Well, usually like the hand, would be going after someone like Wolverine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of Kitty Pryde, I hope Kate Stewart reprises her role as Kitty Pryde in Secret War, since Elliot Page can't cause no sane person want a trans Shadow Cat. I don't think Elliot Page would play the part. To be honest with you.
But that sucks though, because Elliot Page was actually a great casting to play Kitty Pryde in my opinion.
At that time when she was Ellen Page, she was she fit the role kind of perfectly. It was she had the look, the brown hair, the youthful attitude. You had that famous scene like where she's being chased by the Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
And running through those walls. I love it.
Yeah.
Great casting. Let's continue.
We gotta get the X-Men.
There's Forge and Bishop. These two are the guys that are going to head the charge of getting the X-Men back. My theory is, and I don't have any inside info, but one of them will handle going back to the past, and one of them will handle going to the future, and they'll each lead their separate little groups.
What I love about just seeing these two right here, the reason why X-Men will always be loved and beloved is because even your supporting cast is incredible.
Well, Forge and Bishop. Well, Bishop came, again during the highlight of the '90s, and he was there to murder Gambit. Because Gambit was supposedly the traitor of the X-Men that was going to bring the X-Men to their doom and their fall. Forge, of course, he's the guy that can create machines out of almost anything, right? That's why they call him Forge. And he got a more predominant role when he became one of Storm's romantic interests.
Yeah, and that was now I actually did read that in the comics.
Yeah,
when Forge and Storm had a relationship.
Yeah, and they covered that in season 1 of the X-Men '97, which was a great episode, actually.
And that's what I love. This will always work if you pull out the comic books, when you pull these stories out the comic books,
Yeah.
give us the look of the comic books. This is going to always work. I promise you, Marvel. Let's
We
continue.
gotta get the X-Men back. To the
So that looks like Nate Summers again.
Yeah.
I don't know who the person is in pink. I can't see it that well, right? The
I
pink
can't
robe.
see it either. Now,
It looks like that's Storm, like a younger Storm version standing beside that person. But again, I would need more.
You think that's ancient Egypt, or do you think that's future Egypt?
That's ancient.
Okay. It would make sense half of the Defenders, Daredevil with Electro with TNT. I just never understood why we never got that crossover. Plus, Katie Stewart looks the most like Kitty Pryde of all three actors who played her. Remember her cameo in It's 2. I'm going to have to look that up after we
Yeah,
get
me
done
too.
with this.
I don't remember it offhand, but yeah.
I don't remember it either. I only remember Ellen Page. But let's continue.
To the 90s.
You fight a battle that cannot be.
Storm always looking good.
So that's a classic look for Storm. So like when Storm and Gambit first sort of ran into each other, Storm was reduced to a teenager, like back to her days in thieving and on the streets of Africa. And she had that whole ponytail look. So they kind of borrowed and lifted from that.
Is Storm in your top three?
Top three
Marvel
what?
women? Top three Marvel women of all time.
No, probably not.
Okay.
I mean, Marvel women, that opens the. I mean, if you were to say top three female X-Men, maybe, but Marvel women, I mean, you got Susan Storm, you got Jean Grey, you got so many, iconic characters.
So you do have an X-Man in your top three women.
Well, they're probably all X-Men in my top three women, but yeah.
Okay, I was just checking. I love Storm, man. I just from a look, it's like I said, she got that Magneto vibe, got that royal regal type of vibe. Wisdom easily could lead the X-Men herself. I just love her powers, everything.
Cannot be won. Against the dawn of an age that cannot
You
be
missed the most important part. Go back to Colossus.
Okay.
So this is on X on Twitter. There is a whole rabbit fan base of a character called Magic. And for those that don't know, Magic is the younger sister of Colossus. She is my favorite female Marvel character of all time.
Yeah.
There is no Niobe without Magic. And what you're seeing here is Colossus being introduced to the show holding a dead Magic.
Wow.
And we get another glimpse and more confirmation that Magic is actually dead in this trailer, which really pisses me off because, and this is why I'm going to make the video, because A, she's my favorite character, so I wanted her in the show. B, in season 1, we had Morph transform into Magic just for a couple of seconds, but it was enough to tease us to say, you know what, this character actually exists. So we get more of her here, but I think what they're doing is, I don't think they plan to use her too much. I think what they're using Magic for here is a plot device to motivate Colossus in the show. Like, you killed my sister, so now I fight you. You know what I mean? Which is really sad because I want Magic in the show, like as a active participant, not just someone who's there for a second and dies or some sort of memory. And that's, the plot device for Colossus. We want Magic in the show.
What is your fascination with Magic?
Yeah,
Because ever since I known you, you love that character.
Yeah, I mean, first fucking comic book crush when I was a kid, maybe.
Okay, that makes sense.
She was best friends of Kitty Pryde, so they were roommates back in the day. So you would get Magic and some of the X-Men, and you get Kitty Pryde and some of the New Mutants, right? Magic was just really cool because she had this dark side to her, because she grew up in limbo, because she was raised by demons, because she had to fight for her whole life. And she went there when she was essentially an infant and comes back a teenager because time and space work differently in limbo. So she's had all these weird and wild experiences, comes back to the New Mutants, and now she's in regular Earth with regular people. and sort of has to deal with walking this dark side that she's been accustomed to for so long. And still to this very day, she battles that.
Gotcha.
Dawn of an age.
These
So big Sentinel raid here.
these Sentinels look different though.
Yeah, these might be some sort of apocalypse drones or something to that nature. It'll be interesting to see what these actually are. At the first glance, I'm saying Sentinels, but you know.
Yes, sir. Let's continue.
An age that cannot.
Hold on.
So he has a name. He's one of Magneto's acolytes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Magneto really does a big sort of twist and turn at the end of season 1. And ever since, episode 5 where Genosha just got fucking decimated, and someone really needs to step up and take Magneto's place. And I think what this guy here, as being one of the acolytes, is the guy that does that.
This is crazy right here. So Cam, shout out to Cam.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are not his kids anymore. It was a retcon to begin with them being his kids.
You know why though?
The Iceman being gay, that was news to Stan Lee, his creator.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So well, he's not wrong. The reason why Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are no longer mutants is because they wanted to fucking use those characters in the MCU.
Say that again. Say that one more time.
The reason why Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are no longer mutants is because they wanted to use them in the MCU.
Wow.
You see, because again, it was only recently that the MCU got the X-Men back. And prior to that, you couldn't use characters that were considered to be part of the X-Men, which was Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, because they were mutants and son and daughter of Magneto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So they did a retcon. That's Danger, by the way.
This character right here?
Yep. So this is a sentient being that showed up in Grant Morrison's X-Men run. It's essentially the Danger Room. That's now a sort of female-esque walking, talking robot version of, and the Danger Room turns on the X-Men and tries to murder them more than once.
Man, if I was an X-Man, I wouldn't dare go into the Danger Room.
Well, Danger is a whole different beast here now. Like, Danger takes on a life all of its own.
Yeah,
it'll
but
be interesting to see how because they're using a lot of elements from the Grant Morrison X-Men run, which I never really read. I'm aware of it, but I never read it. Right. So I'm interested to see how this is all going to mesh together as one sort of cohesive story, because they're pulling a lot of elements from a lot of different places here.
Well, I think they did that for season 1 as well, didn't they? Didn't they put a lot of stories together?
Yeah. Yeah, ish.
Because I can even remember you. I remember you. I was on one of your streams and you said this arc is really long, but they put it in one episode.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole Inferno saga.
But
that was episode 2 where they brought in Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen. And my God, I hope we get to see more of her too. So,
but to me, if you can do that, that's incredible writing. It's a thing out there, and I know you've seen it. It's a pilot to an X-Men animation that never did come out. I think it's called The Pride of X-Men.
Oh, it came out. Right? It just never came out on television. I probably still have the VHS tape in my shed somewhere. I bought it when I was 14.
But to me, those writers, whoever wrote that, incredible. To put all that into one episode. Most people can't do that.
Yeah. Pride of the X-Men was the precursor to all of this. It was like their attempt to put the X-Men in a cartoon form. Like, if you ever watched Pride of the X-Men, it felt like your typical Saturday morning cartoon, but a little bit dated for its time, right? You had the guy that voiced Duke playing Cyclops. Wolverine was an Australian. You know what I mean? The music was really cheesy. It felt like maybe a little bit updated version of how they used to do like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends or the Hulk back on NBC.
Right on. Let's continue.
And then they shift gears. They said, you know what, this isn't quite working. We need something a little bit more modern, something a little more updated, and eventually, the Pride of the X-Men morphed and transformed in so many ways. That was like the precursor to the Fox X-Men series.
Well, see, and that's what confused me as a child because when I started getting into my first comic book was Jim Lee X-Men. And the only reason why I picked it up because I was watching the X-Men cartoon. And then when I would go to the arcade, I always wondered why do these X-Men look different? Like they kind of look like the Jim Lee and cartoon version. But then as I got older, I didn't know about the pride of X-Men animation.
Yeah.
And then it started all clicking and making sense. This is such a badass moment right here, wiping his gun.
It's good animation to see the reflection and all that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to see the reflection. Michael Bell voiced Cyclops in it. Wow.
Yeah, is that the guy that does Duke? I mean, I don't know. It sounds a lot like Duke to me from fucking G.I. Joe.
Let's continue. Hold on. See, it's so much good stuff in between. I don't know why, but I love this shot. Jean looks sad as freak. I like that.
This
Baby
isn't
boy all
just
going
about
on.
us.
All right, back.
What, this part?
No, girl with red hair. Yeah.
Right.
So speculation that is Rachel Summers.
Oh.
It's either Rachel or Hope. There's two of them. There's Hope Summers, who was sort of raised by Cable, and then there was Rachel Summers from Days of Future Past, sort of like became a mutant hunter.
Her hair is
and then like later goes into normal time and becomes part of Excalibur and all that.
Hair is slightly. That's what I remember her from is Excalibur, led by Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
And Captain Britain, maybe.
Well, I always looked at it as Captain Britain's team, but yeah, Nightcrawler was kind of officially the leader.
Yeah, because those are some of my first comments too, Excalibur. Because I was like, as a kid, it's more X-Men teams. Why is Nightcrawler here? You know?
So this is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is presumably in the X Mansion. This is a shrine to all the X-Men that have fallen since Genosha. Okay.
Yeah.
And at the very top of that, the biggest picture that you see, that's Magic. So I told you that is Magic right there. That blonde haired girl at the top, that is Magic. Thus again confirming that she is dead in the show.
Gambit, we see Gambit. Who is that lady right there on the left bottom?
Oh, I can't tell you, man. Again, they don't make a lot of this very clear. You know.
Yeah. Very interesting though, and I feel like we should pay attention to that. But I don't know. It look like that X-Men girl that can turn into a werewolf.
Well, you're gonna see her in the show. That's Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane is actually in the show. We might even get a glimpse of her in the trailer.
Okay.
It's about everyone we've lost.
Now this Jubilee looks totally different. You see that?
Yeah, she looks a little bit different. Yeah. Again, this might be sort of like referencing to the events of episode 4 in the first season, where we got to see the future version of her. So this may be like a more adult version of Jubilee, maybe somewhere in between. Who knows? I'm wildly speculating on things. You know what I mean? I don't know anything. I'm guessing.
Man.
Yeah,
that's what these streams all about. He voiced Sideswipe on the Transformers and Drew Pickles on.
Well, Sideswipe was my favorite Autobot, so that works for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was my favorite Autobot? I will tell you my favorite of all time Transformer is Starscream.
Sure.
I love
my favorite Decepticon was Skywarp, right? So the Blackjack. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. He was just so vain and such an asshole, and he would like teleport behind people and blow them out of the sky. It was great.
Yeah. But it blew my mind when I saw the Transformers movie.
Yeah.
And the way Megatron killed Starscream.
Yeah.
My jaw was like, it hit the floor. Like, that movie is incredible. And you know it's coming back to theaters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's an anniversary event right around the corner.
Yep. Let's continue.
From the beginning.
Hold on, this is real interesting right here. This hieroglyphics.
Yeah. So I mean, you see what probably is Apocalypse in the center. Then you got Xavier on the left, Magneto on the right. You got a Rogue, you got a Wolverine, and then the two on the end, they're too vague for me to tell who they are. I think maybe that's Nightcrawler on the side of Rogue because I can now kind of see the pointed tail.
Yeah, it's Nightcrawler.
And then the guy by Wolverine, I just don't know.
No, that ain't Wolverine. That's Beast.
Is it Beast? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Beast.
I suppose. Yeah. Yeah.
He more wider. He more wider than Wolverine. Would be.
Yeah. That's interesting that Beast would be there. Okay.
But you know what's funny? That's funny. You thought that was Wolverine.
Well, it's just because of the hair.
Now, that's funny. I'm gonna get to that. When I was a kid, for some odd reason, like I didn't understand lore. Like I'm reading comics when I'm 7, 8 years old, and in my head, I thought Beast was the father of Wolverine. You want to know why?
Why? The hair?
Hair. They both got the same hair, you know?
Yeah.
That's just the mind of a kid, man. Let's continue.
From the beginning of time.
Oh, that's a big shot right there. That dinosaur thing.
Yeah, that's the
that tells
Land,
me we're getting the Savage Land.
Yeah, the Savage Land.
Yeah. So guaranteed probably there's an episode in the Savage, or maybe this is ancient time somewhere.
Maybe
but
it's ancient. Yeah, maybe it's ancient.
Even 3,000 years ago, we didn't have dinosaurs. So
yeah. Let's continue.
Time.
You saw that, right?
Yes, that's Morph transforming into Deadpool. I wish they didn't show that, and I'll tell you why. Because the Morph character cameos are fun as shit when he does them and he transforms.
Yeah,
like into the Hulk in season 1. You don't want to give too much of that away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should have saved that. You're right.
Yeah,
like when they saved the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was a waste. They should.
I mean, this will get some people interested. It's certainly a talking point. This whole trailer was designed for us to talk about it, and they've done their job. You know,
they did their job. Yes, Destroyer, you just saw.
Yeah, but don't count on that being the real Deadpool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's continue. Oh, we got
Psylocke. Now, even this though, that still could be Morph. I hope not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes you'll see characters in the show. You're like, oh man, they're in the show, and it's like Morph. You know?
Is she going into some kind of portal?
Yeah. Well, it looks like a giant mouth opening up, and she's gonna walk right into it.
Yeah, she's going into probably a portal.
So tomorrow.
So go back a couple of spaces. Right there, Magneto. Funny how he's got claw marks on his face, right? I wonder where those come from.
Yeah, that's real interesting.
Probably Wolverine, because Magneto fucked with Wolverine in the last season.
You know he don't have the antimanium anymore either.
Doesn't need it. He still got claws.
Yeah, he probably swiped him with just one.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see like there's a line on his nose, and there's a line right underneath his eye, and then there's a line right above the eyebrow.
Oh, that's a good catch, because I only saw the line on his nose.
Yep, look closer.
Wow. Can you imagine how that scene is going to look?
Right?
Man, this is going to be a great show. He said, I want Deadpool to appear on this show and have him be voiced by Nolan North.
That'd be great, you know. I mean, the fact that they're teasing him means there's always a possibility of that. But the way the trailer outlined it, it's more.
We stand together, right here, right now.
All right, so that's that's the accolade of Magneto there. Again, he has a name. I just don't remember what it is.
Shout out to them giving us the Nightcrawler using his sword skills.
Yeah, they did a great job with that, and in the first season too.
Yeah.
Right now, I believe in the X-Men.
I love this shot right here.
So anyone that we see here, we know is real because we see Morph in the background. So that's Archangel, that is Cable, that is Forge, that's Jean Grey in the fucking in the Grant Morrison outfit. So we know that eventually they all find each other again, because Jean was in the future while a bunch of these characters were stuck in the past. Now there's Sunspot right there. There's Psylocke. So confirmation that Morph is not Psylocke because we got them in the same shot.
Yeah. And look at Jubilee. She looked different than she normally does.
Yeah,
see
she
that?
does look a little different. Yeah.
She look a little different.
A little bit more
but
adult.
This haven't been done before. We're seeing the X-Men all come together, but these are X-Men from all different eras in the comic books, and as far as different runs,
As far as the
different
outfits
artists,
are
different writers.
concerned, right?
Yeah, as
so
far as the outfits is concerned,
yeah.
which is cool. This has never been done before, and I like that. Like Storm, this is John Byrne Storm right here.
Yeah, that's the
back
whole
here.
classic Storm. That Wolverine,
that's
the
Jim-
brown and yellow, that's never really been used a whole lot lately in the comics. They
Yeah.
usually go back with the old school red, yellow and blue, right?
This is Jim Lee Archangel up there.
100.
I mean, I love this. This has never been done before. It's very cool.
We're back, baby.
We're back, bub. So that's it, man.
Yeah, and July 1st isn't all that long. Just a little over a month
no.
away, and then we get to dive into this. So go back to that comment. What did he say?
Love
I
using
love
Psylocke
using
in the
Psylocke in
Marvel
Marvel superheroes. Rogi had that booty. Psylocke had them ties. Yeah.
I know
When you
you're a
say
big
using
X-Men fan.
Psylocke in Marvel superheroes, what do you mean? Like Marvel Rivals, the video game? Because she's in that, or do you mean like Marvel superheroes, the role playing tabletop RPG game? Like, what are we talking about here?
Man, there's been a lot of good Marvel games coming out lately.
Well, listen,
Marvel
we got
Rivals.
Tokon Souls right around the corner. You know about that one?
Hey, I'm gonna get that. Are you gonna play that?
Day one.
Okay, I'm gonna play day one because I'm tired of people beating me down in these games.
Because
That Marvel Rivals, that when you play that online,
yeah.
Oh my God, they're. Oh man, I couldn't.
You're going to
win.
bleed before you take blood. Trust me.
Most definitely, most definitely. But this right here pretty much kind of confirms. Now I could be wrong, but to me, just seeing them in this shot with
Yeah.
the legendary Frank Miller Wolverine pose
Yeah.
that everybody used,
Yeah.
this is going to be good, man.
Well, we hope so, right? We've seen trailers mislead us before. Okay. We've seen
Shout out to
trailers. that-
Saruki, Ninja Blast artist right here, Saruki. Glad
Oh,
you're
right
here,
on.
brother. Didn't mean to cut you off, Larry. Keep going.
Yeah, that looks like Jubilee wearing Gambit's coat. It could be. I mean, Jubilee's always had that sort of long yellow raincoat, though. So maybe it's just that. I don't know. All I know is I hope the trailer. I hope the show lives up to the hype of the trailer. Right. I am tired, Jay, of coming on, on these things and go, this sucks, that sucks, that sucks. I want to be able to say that was fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Because you know what? You know how the Simpsons always predict things? You know how they always predict the future stuff?
Famously, apparently.
They
yeah.
really predicted us. I'm gonna tell you how they predicted us, and you might have never thought about this.
All right.
You know comic book guy?
Do I know comic book guy?
Rest
He
assured
hates
that I was on
everything.
the internet within minutes, registering my disgust throughout the world.
He hates everything Hollywood, man. That's
Yeah.
us. That's us.
See, I don't hate everything. I just, my mentality comes from the 80s and 90s. So when I watch something, my brain automatically reverts back to would like 15-year-old LP like this sort of thing. You know what I mean? But what I like now and what a 15-year-old may like in today's age is going to be two different things. I have to understand that not everything is going to be made for the 52-year-old man who looks like a South Park avatar. You know what I mean? I have to understand that we're not the demographic that some of these shows are targeting. Now, I believe X-Men 97 is a show that's definitely targeting two different audiences. They're trying to grasp a younger audience who's never seen the X-Men before and reintroduce them because, like you said, the movie's around the corner and all this. But they're also trying to get us guys who may be old and jaded to get excited about it and talk about it to give it that hype. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Real fast, this is a sneak peek, a double page spread, and Ninja Blast. Our boy did this. He been helping me with the backgrounds.
Yeah.
The book is completely done. Lunchbox Warren did the background. So Larry, I want to thank you, man. You introduced me to some dope people. And in this scene right here, the main character is tracking. I'm not gonna get a story away, but the main character is tracking somebody down, and he tracking him inside a Japanese club, and that's why you see all these buildings and people waiting outside. And
Yeah.
my artist Saruki, he even put me and him as an Easter egg in the line. So y'all guys got something great coming with Ninja Blast too. We pretty much done. We got maybe like 4 more pages of color, do some lettering, and boom, it's done. And yeah.
So
man.
what's the plan? Like, how are you going to release that?
Indiegogo and Kickstarter.
There you go.
Now, the reason why I'm going with Indiegogo first is because that's the most people that back me. I'm new to Kickstarter, but I don't want to give Kickstarter up. You know,
well, you're going to end up finding that eventually that's going to swap, right? I don't know how many people currently use Indiegogo anymore since they've done their buyout and all their changes. To be honest with you, I've never tried to launch a campaign there since they've done their changes, so I don't know how it even works anymore.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Kickstarter too has been really strict on people. And this doesn't affect you at all. But as far as terms of not safe for work or sort of like sexy covers and stuff, Kickstarter has banned projects, suspended projects. I've been covering that a lot lately. But you have a safe book, and safe by I mean, like, there's no sexualization going on in your book. It's straight, sort of classic, martial arts action, if you will. You know what I mean?
TMT, Ninja Gaiden, those type of things are,
So you'll be fine on Kickstarter. It takes a little bit to build a Kickstarter presence. Rome wasn't built overnight. When I started Niobe on Kickstarter 13 years ago, we only had 69 backers. You know what I mean? So
this is the thing that I love, though, Larry. You make your book, and it might not do that good like you thought it would do on Indiegogo. I mean, on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, but you have a completed book.
Yeah.
You have a body of work done, which means you can take that body of work and sell it somewhere else.
Yeah, you can shop it around. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, one of the things we plan to do is once I get this last issue of Outbreak done, we're almost done. Much like you, we got 4 pages left to do and some lettering and, a little bit of coloring. But we're almost ready to go to print ourselves. And once that final issue is done, then I'll be able to put all 5 issues into a trade. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that means we'll have 2 different trades. We'll have the Outbreak trade and the first trade. And I want both of those then going up on Amazon.
And what I love, what you do too, you take your body of work, give it to the sensei, and the sensei spread it out to all the comic books in the United States.
And there's no reason why you can't do that either.
Yeah. I've been talking to the sensei. I showed him Ninja Blast 1. He loved it. And we're going to do some things, I want to be in the shops too. But before we leave, because I know you got a stream coming up, I want you to tell me your thoughts about this right here. Because you said you saw it.
Oh, God.
I saw it too. You see that?
Yeah, perfectly.
What was your thoughts?
It's fine if you are it would be fine if it was just on Disney Plus, right? So what this is about 3 episodes, maybe 4 episodes worth of Mandalorian that should have been on Disney Plus that got crammed into a movie. The problem with this movie is there's nothing major that happens. It's like a side quest. Nothing fucking matters in the grand scheme.
It didn't move the needle. It didn't move the needle. Cause I'm thinking like this, Larry.
Mm-hmm.
Show something like you was really Boba Fett's son. You was really a clone. Or show Luke Skywalker as a cameo. We got none of that in this.
Nothing. Look. We have Ahsoka coming up with season 2, and there's the whole Admiral Thrawn storyline going on, and a lot of speculation was that this movie was going to tie into that somehow, and they were going to sort of tie all these things together. We got none of that. You know, we got Huts. We got fucking Baby Yoda. You know, the coolest thing in this fucking movie was watching Baby Yoda build his little cave hut. And that's sad.
See, now, that's funny you said that, because that part actually stood out to me as well. From a father, and I brought my son to see the movie because he was the one that wanted to see the movie. I could tell by trailers if it's going to suck.
Yeah.
And I love that part where Grogu took care. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers. I know y'all don't care to watch it. Grogu took care of Mando while he was recovering from the poison.
Yeah.
I love that because of that father and son bond that you see in that. But besides that, the action, the fight, and all that, we've seen that before.
Well, more importantly, though, going back to him looking after Mando, what we kind of want out of Baby Yoda here is more information, no matter how small it is, on the race. Because Yoda's race, we don't even know what they're called. We don't know what planet they're from. We know very little about anything about them. But Grogu gave us something in this movie. Because if you go back to Empire Strikes Back, what does Yoda live in?
He live in a little hut, little cave.
What did Grogu make?
A little hut, a little cave.
So that tells me that Yoda's race instinctively builds these caves as homes, much like birds build a nest.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't even have that connection because I was so stunned that this movie sucked so bad.
Right? I was just happy to get a little bit of Yoda race. I was like, oh, look, Grogu is making this nest out of natural materials, right? So, and that looks just like Yoda's hut from Empire Strikes Back. So that tells me that these little green guys, that all their homes look like that. That's what they do, you know?
And this the thing about it too. Shouldn't he be talking? At least give us a dad, at least something.
They should have had him say something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't. Like I said, nothing fucking happens in this, man. This is why this should have been on Disney Plus, right? And the other problem is that the CGI, some of the monsters, was just so painfully obvious that it takes you out of the immersion.
Yeah. Yeah. When they rescue the hut, Jabba the son hut, Jabba the Hutt's son, excuse me. I thought the movie was over. But I was like, it's more. And I said, well, okay, maybe it'll get better. It didn't get better.
Look, I took my 73-year-old mother to see this. And the only reason why she wanted to see it is because she watched the series because she likes Baby Yoda, right? Baby Yoda made Star Wars fans out of people that never in their life would have been Star Wars fans. Now, my mother only cares if it's Baby Yoda. If I said, hey, let's watch Andor, she ain't going to want to watch it. If I said, oh, but Baby Yoda's in it, she's going to watch it, right? But even she said, when we came out of the movie, she goes, what'd you think of the movie? And I told her, and I said, well, what'd you think? She goes, it sucked. Like flat out. She just goes, it sucked. It was boring. All right. That's the most fucking honest fucking critique, period. Because this is coming from someone that knows very little about Star Wars other than what I tell her. And that's assuming she retains any of that information. You know what I mean? But yeah, she didn't like it either, you know?
What else, Talk Killer? Glad you're here. You're not late. Well, you're kind of late because we about to end.
Well, yeah, sort of.
But I'm glad you're here, man. You're right, though, Larry. I think the only reason why they made this stupid movie was for the people who love Grogu. And they thought it was going to be a big success if they put Grogu name at the end. And let me tell you something. Mandalorian 1, Mandalorian 2 was perfect because it was gritty. It showed the dark side. I was thinking, okay, we got the Hutts in this. Are we supposed to get to the nitty gritty crime side of Star Wars? And they didn't go there.
Yeah.
I also think Mandalorian season 1 and 2 could have potentially saved Star Wars as far as with that last episode where they had grown men crying.
Mm.
They had grown men crying when Luke took Grogu away. You could have gave us cameos with Han Solo in season 3, season 4 with Princess Leia. Gave us a Luke Skywalker solo show or solo movie. They dropped the ball.
Oh, they tried the solo movie. That sucked.
No, but I'm talking about the solo we love, not the young solo. I'm talking about the solo after Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but none of those guys can play those parts anymore, right? I mean, they tried to reprise their roles in the prequels, or in the sequels.
You're right. But I'm talking about we got AI and we have facial recognition, and you got people that.
How far down that road do you really want to go?
Well, that's funny you said that, and I'm about to end the show. But watch what I pulled up on the show today. It's going there. It's going to go there. We're going to get dead people back in movies. Now, I know how you feel about AI in some aspects. But right here it says AI company 11 Labs has struck a deal for voice and likeness of Stan Lee. Now, when they say likeness, that means you're going to potentially see Stan Lee in future stuff.
There's no doubt about it. There's a Stan Lee hologram they had at one of the major Comic-Cons that you can interact with. And I just thought it was such a theft of the soul. It really bothered me, that one.
Yeah.
I mean, this man is dead. I met this man. This man, when I met him, was old and tired. You know what I mean? Like, let fucking Stan Lee rest, you know?
Yeah. And they worked the man to the bones. Did you see that little trailer that they had when he was just tired and didn't want to go to the con?
We were going to interview the guy that did that documentary, but he never came around. There was a whole documentary that was on Kickstarter that they were trying to fund. It was like $100,000, $200,000 for, and it never came to fruition. But there was so much footage that came out of that documentary that people are like, release this for free. If you're claiming, and I believe it to be true, that Stan Lee was a victim of elder abuse, and you got this all on film because you followed Stan Lee around for years at all these cons, why are you trying to cash out on that? Release it to the public. Show us what happened, you know?
Probably Marvel stepped to his front door.
Well, I'm sure there's lots of people that don't want that footage out there. Yeah.
You got to think. Marvel got some bad boys waiting in them dark alleys, man. I wouldn't even want to mess with them, you know? But yeah, so going back to Mandalorian, if you could give the Mandalorian and Grogu a grade, what would the grade be?
I gave it 4 out of 10.
That's understandable.
And you know, it lost points for a few different reasons. The big one being there was just no major stakes. It was a side quest, you know. The second one was as much as people have seen the love Rada the Hutt in it, I didn't. I thought the character itself was fine, but when the Hutts start talking like they're your friend from down the street, I got a problem. Hey man, what's going on? The aliens need to sound fucking alien.
Why the freak is y'all speaking English?
Yeah, it's way too much English, right? Hearing a Hutt speak English just sounds fucking weird to me.
It sounded weird.
Right. Again, that took me out of the immersion, you know, and I get it. You don't want people reading subtitles throughout the entire movie, but at the same time, the Hutts, like certain creatures in Star Wars, shouldn't be able to speak English. You should be able to understand each other, just like it's sort of like a natural thing. Like we all understand this intergalactic sort of language. But
they did it with what's that flying thing that owned Anakin, Credo or something like that? Greedo.
Yeah.
They did it with him. He taught subtitles through the whole thing.
And if they are going to talk English, can we not have like accents that are easily recognizable? Like you don't, you know, like let's say you're talking to an alien creature and he sounds like he's a fucking the gas station worker in Alabama.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Rhoda the Hutt. I could have sworn that was that guy from the Black Widow movie. You know, he playing Stranger Things as well.
Yeah.
What's that guy?
I'm not sure who did the voice. I know some people are really high on it. I just wasn't one of them, you know.
So we're gonna play a little game and then we're gonna leave.
All right.
This is the game.
Yeah.
Out of all the Star Wars movies that came out in theater,
Yeah.
or is it any of these films that Mandalorian and Grogu is better than?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I mean, maybe on par with, right?
okay, on par. Okay,
Solo and The Last Jedi, I mean, are probably the two worst movies in that fucking list right there.
okay.
And Mandalorian would be in that category.
Okay, you like Rise of Skywalker?
Only because it's a step up from Last Jedi, because they really tried to undo some damage, but it was too late by then. You know what I mean? So you had J.J. Abrams, who did the Force Awakens, and it was a strong start. You know, a little bit fucking cheesy in the sense that they ripped off ideas from the first Star Wars, like secret plans for the next weapon. You know, that kind of was stupid, right? Then you got The Last Jedi, and you had like Luke Skywalker throwing his lightsaber over his shoulder and not raising the X-Wing out of the fucking water and all this dumb stuff. Then you get back to fucking the next one, and Luke's like, "Oh, I was wrong. I should never have told you that. I was fucked up." You know, I mean, just had they not had that movie in the middle, and they let J.J. Abrams instead of Ryan, whatever his name was, fucking take care of that, you may have had a better set of films. Okay.
Well, believe it or not, the director that was going to do Rise of Skywalker, and he wasn't going to call it Rise of Skywalker. He was going to call it Duel of Fates. I actually chit-chatted with him a little bit online, and from the script he gave, he was going to save that franchise. Like he was going to bring Luke back and everything. Yeah. And they told him, "No, we don't want you. Yeah, because you're doing exactly opposite of what we want you to do."
You know, Rogue One out of the Disney stuff is probably the best.
It's the best. It's the best out of all the Disney Plus stuff. I mean, Disney Star Wars stuff. I agree. It was a great film. If I had to pick which ones Mandalorian Grogu was better than, to me, it's better than Last Jedi, better than Rise of Skywalker, and better than Solo.
That's not saying a lot.
And when I'm saying better than, I'm talking about maybe a number up or slightly a grade up.
Yeah, 0.5%.
Not by much. Not by much.
Well, look, I wasn't a fan of the prequels either, though, right? Had I had the same formats as I do today, I would have bitched about the Phantom Menace. I did bitch about the Phantom Menace when I walked out of the theater.
Really? You didn't like it?
Fucking a movie about bureaucracy and trade routes and fucking embargoes? No, it fucking big words, huh? Yeah, and I know people love Darth Maul. I wasn't one of them. The guy hardly spoke. All he did was a bunch of flips. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Now let's get real, and then we're gonna end the show.
Sure.
I didn't like Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Pointless.
I didn't like see Yoda flipping around either. That looked dumb as shit.
If it was up to me, it was dumb. It looked dumb too. I don't know why people don't admit that. But if I was George, I wouldn't. If I was George, I wouldn't even did the prequels. I would have started 7, 8, and 9 while Luke, Leia, and Han as actors are still young.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Yeah.
But if you had to go with prequels, don't give us when he a kid. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Start out when he a teenager or something, already at the Jedi Temple. Show him getting evil, and then get into the Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, now, I mean, Revenge of the Sith out of those three was the best one, because obviously that's the one that sort of ties everything together. And there's still a couple of different little plot holes in that, but ultimately, I mean, Obi-Wan certainly ages really quickly from Revenge of the Sith to The New Hope, really quickly, you know.
Yeah, but
I mean, time on Tatooine must fucking do that to you. You know what I mean?
But I know Lucas was trying to show us the rise of Palpatine as well. But to be honest, didn't nobody really care about Palpatine like that. We just
once he went down the fucking the hole in like the Death Star trench or whatever, and Return of the Jedi, that should have been it.
That should have been it. That should have been it.
New villain, new threat.
I'm just to blow your mind, and then we're gonna end it. You know, I didn't like Return of the Jedi.
Mm.
That movie, I hate the Ewoks.
Many do.
If you know what I do, if I feel like watching Return of the Jedi, this is gonna make you laugh or blow your mind. I watch the beginning and end and turn it off.
Yeah. Yeah. When I see those movies on, generally I'll pay attention to the Jabba the Hutt stuff, right?
Yeah, the
A
beginning.
little bit in between. With when it comes to Empire, like even I don't watch it all the way through anymore. I'll watch
Yeah.
like mostly the Yoda scenes if I happen to see it on. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, Empire used to be my favorite, but New Hope is my favorite out of all those.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of the originals.
It's
you know?
one scene that gets me every time, and I can't watch it all. I shed a tear.
Which one's that?
Luke, when Luke gets, you know, Luke and Obi-Wan out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
And then Luke come back and see his parents burnt to a freaking crisp.
Charred.
And this what blows my mind. You know, anybody out there, you'll be like, my mom, my dad. He just kept it moving.
It's a movie. Yeah, they had to.
He just kept,
And technically, they weren't his parents. They were Uncle Ben and Aunt Beru.
yeah,
or
but they
whoever
was
it
his
was.
parents, man. They was his parents, man.
Well, they raised him. Yeah. I mean,
Man, but think about that. To me, Luke, you got to be a manly man because think about it, from think
yeah,
about this.
Owen and Beru. I think that's what their names were.
I don't know if this is bad writing or Luke is just a manly man.
Mm-hmm.
But show me where in A New Hope, all the way to Return of the Jedi at the end, did he ever mourn for his parents? Man?
Yeah, you don't see that. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm like that dude from Conan, like his little sidekick. I'll cry for him.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't cry. You know.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, man. I said, Luke, you not gonna shed one tear. You a man, you know. But yeah, that's how I feel. But Larry, thank you so much, man. Hey, where can the people find you?
Niobe Comic on YouTube if you want to watch me just Wednesday nights is like the prime night for my channel. That's the night when we come on, like last night, and we just talk comic books, right? If you happen to show up any other time, I'm usually just on shooting the shit or just gaming. You know what I mean?
Okay. Appreciate
And
you
then
coming.
eBay, Niobe Comics on eBay if you want to buy my comic book. Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Niobe Comics on eBay.
Yeah.
Niobe Comics.
eBay.
Oh yeah. Oh, you sold out too. Let me see if I can pull it up. Something you just had sold out. So hey, selling out.
Well, are you sure it's my page though? I mean, there could be Niobe Comics on eBay that aren't being sold by me. Happens all the time.
Niobe Comics, Rebel Comics.
Screen share, and I'll be able to tell you. I mean, I'm not sure what you're looking at.
Let me see.
I think the easier way for this to happen, Jace, just for me to give you the link.
Yeah, give me the link. Because everybody's selling Niobe, and it's selling like hotcakes too.
So that's the sort of the advantage about being published is that you get a wider sort of distribution, more eyes on the prize. I'm glad that it's out there for sale and it's available. Hopefully, people are buying it from me, though. You know what I mean? And so
but
the
that's
link
good that you out there too, though. Like you out there in the market, because there's promotion.
Yeah. So the link that I put in the private chat in the stream areas, that's for the actual official store for me. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. All right. Here we go.
That's it.
And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about Larry. This man is going to give you quality. I own some Niobe. The covers are fantastic, and inside the book is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. We're almost done the last one, too.
If you sick and tired of what Marvel and DC are doing, support the indie guys.
So on the far right, you see the Superverse. That just came out last Wednesday at comic book shops, guys. So that's a signed one by me. But if you are just out in the wild and you happen to see this at a comic book shop, because like I said, it only came out last week, so there's still plenty floating around. Pick that one up for like $5-6, you know.
And
that's
that's
the Superverse. So that's a that's a crossover I got to do with Ben Dunn. So that's Niobe, Penguina, and Tomorrow Girl in a 56-page one-shot story, right? So it's not like you only get Niobe for a couple of pages and she's gone. No, she's in this throughout the entire thing.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Penguina, Niobe,
and Tomorrow Girl.
Yeah. Great characters. I got some stuff from Antarctic Paris, the old school stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end the show with this, but this is a Ninja High School Gold Digger crossover that most people don't have.
Oh, let's see. Yeah. Luke had more reaction to Obi-Wan than his family. This is true. This is true. Yeah, Antarctic Press is a company that's been around for 40 years. What Jay's going to show you some real history here. There it is.
This the old stuff right here.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And man, you know, Larry, we got to figure out how to get Fred Perry, man.
Well, we'll work on that. But I mean, those books that you hold up, I want you to understand that, Jay, eventually Ninja Blast might carry on this legacy, you know, like with the AP. Like, if you talk with the sensei and you get that published, dude,
yeah,
you are now part of the same legacy as the books you just held in your hand.
And it's a great legacy, man. They put out some incredible books throughout the years. And what I love about Ben Dunn, he has seen comic book empires rise and fall.
Yeah,
and he's still standing.
Yeah, that's because
he knows something.
Well, his brother, right? And I heard you mention this on a different stream, is sort of like the brains and the sort of money handler behind it, where Ben is more like the figurehead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He the creator.
And between the two of them, they've managed to keep this company alive for over 40 years. You know,
that's impressive because the shelf life of a comic book company is 5 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we see them laying off people in Mastros. Marvel just went through a massive layoff. Dark Horse is now having employees wanting to unionize. You know what I mean? You know, when Diamond fell, you know, the fall of Rome, when Diamond fell last year, year before, that crippled a lot of small press publishers. Antarctic Press was almost fucked. Like they didn't even know if they were going to be able to come back in the shops or not because they didn't know who they were going to be with. Lunar wasn't taking them on directly. They had to sign with a third party called Massive Indies, who has a contract with Lunar to bring independence to the platform. You know,
but that's what I love about Antarctic Press, because when it gets real tough, they still the last one standing.
Oh, man, it's a hell of a legacy. I just wish they were more popular and more, you know, like the sales were a little bit higher, because I think the books are there. I think the quality is there. If you look at what they're producing right now, they got Punchline from Matt Weldon. You know, they got Common America from Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini. They got Critter from Tom Hutchinson. They got my book, hopefully soon to be your book, right? They still produce and fucking make Ninja High School up to 203 issues now, you know?
Incredible stuff.
And they are the real only home for new creators, creator-owned projects that want to get a start into the publishing world, right? Everyone thinks Image Comics, great. But you know how hard it is to get into Image Comics? And if you're doing a superhero book, you want to know how much even harder it is, because they don't do cape books anymore, very rarely, okay? So there are not many publishers out there that are willing to take a chance on something new. You know, usually these guys, they want you to be a name in the industry. You know, Image will take you on if you work for Marvel and DC before, because you got credibility, right? But a lot of these companies won't even look at us. You know, Ben Dunn is one of the few people out there that if you submit a project to, he'll at least give it a real good look. And if there's anything of merit to it at all, you stand a good chance of being published. Are you going to get rich from it? No. But is that your foot in the door into a whole different world? Yeah, it is.
I'm not even looking at it as getting rich. I'm looking at promotion.
Yeah. 100%.
You know?
Hopefully, you know, when we do Outbreak 4 and 5.
When I look at those old Antarctic, and I ain't mean to cut you off, I'm gonna let you plug in a few seconds. But Antarctic Press, when you look at those old books, man, he shows so much love to the fans. I don't care how your art look, he was gonna put it in those books.
Yeah. So the Ninja High School yearbook was my first start into this sort of weird journey, because I remember trying to draw Ichiku from Ninja High School, just wanting to be published in the book. And, you know, 14-year-old me, if I would have had one of my crappy drawings published in the book, that would have been my comic book career right there. And I would have been happy and satisfied because I went and did it. Fast forward now, I'm 51. And, you know, these books that I've read when I was younger, I'm now actually published by that company. I actually get to message, you know, Ben Dunn, you know, like he's a friend, and just shoot the shit with him, you know, at my leisure when I want, you know. Now it's still part of me that's a big fan. There's still a part of me that secretly fanboys out over all this, but, you know, same time, we're adults now, and they're, you know, it's weird to say this, but we're peers.
Yeah, it ain't weird. It's true. It's true. But you know, I just look at it as, if Ben Dunn, if Antarctic Press is still standing after all these years since the 80s, they're on to something. They got the knowledge. They have the knowledge. And that's a company that I would trust myself with my work.
Well, like I said, it's a great introductory into a whole new world. I mean, Antarctic Press could be your final stop, or it could be your first stop. It depends on all what you want to do with your journey, you know?
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, dude. When I was in the chat and said, yeah, I want to come on and talk, I wasn't really expecting you to throw out the link and bring me on.
Well, this was a random stream that I thought about, and I wanted to talk about the S-Man trailer. Perfect timing when you coming in, because I know S-Men is your thing. That's your favorite thing. And the stars aligned. It worked out. So, hey, man, I'm going to be on your channel. I'm going to be promoting Niobe. And, hey, man, we're going to have a great summer. Thank y'all for coming to the show.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yes, sir. Hash Dragon, thank you. Star Killer, Lawrence, thank you for coming. Dr. Doug, thank you. Destroyer of Trolls, thank you. Saruki, Ninja Blast 2, thank you so much, brother. You did an excellent job, my friend. Cam, thank you for coming. Sandro, thank you for coming, man. Really appreciate y'all. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we're out.
That's my boy. Oh.